SUSE 12.1. They have a live GNOME version that is GNOME 3. So if you want to experience it, download it. You can probably run it in a VM and work just fine. Boot to it, and you can see the differences, because there is clearly differences. The only thing that I really hate about Unity, I must say, the file menu, file, edit, view, tools, help, is on functional applications inside of Unity. It's pushed up to the top panel bar, and you don't even know it's there until you either hit Alt or you put your mouse over where the menu would be.
I see.
It's a Mac thing.
Yeah,
you know.
It totally is.
I don't know. Okay, but I digress. This next thing, Steve, I'm rarely truly giddy for coming technology. You know what I mean? I'm often excited about things that could be coming out or that are a way off kind of thing. You know what I mean? But I'm rarely giddy.
You know what? Most of the time, it's usually because I say to myself, I probably can't afford that anyway.
Dude, honestly, if I had right now $1,000 just sitting there looking at me funny, I'd go get an Asus Transformer Prime.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting one. I'm not worried about it.
Exactly.
Right. But this December is the month. We're in December, and it's the 12th already, and I'm already getting a little impatient. Okay. November 2nd on geek.com, the creators of Raspberry Pi, Pi, said in December, we are going to launch our $25 PC. Okay. This is the one that's the size of the thumb drive, and it has like a 600 megahertz processor in it, USB 2.0, 1080p output, Wi-Fi. The megahertz of the processor is a single core, I think at the most 800 megahertz. And the video is not like a quad core. You know, it isn't some extreme powerhouse. But I don't want a portable gaming rig in my pocket also.
I know.
Okay. I just picture taking 4 of these things, hooking them up to a USB powered hub, which is another $20, and having my own little Beowulf cluster. So for about $100 and change dollars, I will have the processing power, the throughput, and the functionality of at least a $500 computer. At least.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Really?
Well, oh yeah. Yeah. A Beowulf cluster is basically an open source framework for clustering, where you have your central computer, which can be anything. I mean, it can be a P1, okay, that basically pushes the commands down to the cluster. And it basically would see 4 of these Raspberry Pis as 4 processors. So it would take my task and split it up into 4 threads and push it down to the cluster.
So they would just work together.
They would work in tandem.
Okay.
And for $100, I could technically have like a $400, $500 computer.
Yeah.
And even with 4 or 5 of them together, I probably could play Skyrim or something. You know what I mean? Because that much video power quadrupled could be enough. But it's $25, which also means I could literally take the device, okay, hook it up to the power line somehow in my wall via USB, right? Drywall up over top of it, and I could have a server in my wall, okay, that nobody can break into my house and get unless they punch a hole in the wall. They don't even know where to punch a hole in the wall. You know what I mean? Or I could take this little device, put it in my garage, and have it like a port knocker kind of thing, where I can send it a secret combination of dings to my web server, and it will tell the Raspberry Pi, open up my garage door. You know what I mean?
I can't believe these things are $25. I cannot believe.
Well, I heard 25 and then 35, but now they're saying again 25.
It's amazing. It's too cheap. I mean, even for something that's like, I'm sure, you know, it's like you said, it's not a gaming rig, but $25. I mean, they could probably charge $100 for this thing. Easy. I don't know.
I mean, I can definitely see 85 to 95, them close to selling to as many people. Maybe not as many devices, but almost as many people.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the real quick jacks on here. Okay. Thought I had Wi-Fi. Let me see. Okay. Ethernet. It's only in the B model, it looks like. USB 2.0, status LEDs, audio jack, like the little eighth inch jack, I think, Steve. RCA video, SD card, micro USB power, HDMI, and they're going to have an A and a B, 128 megs of RAM and 256 meg of RAM. The processor is a Broadcom ARM 700 megahertz processor. And it says Model A, $25, Model B, $35.
Jeez.
So let me tell you something. Most things you buy in your life, if you get double the RAM, you almost pay double the money.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everything. This one, $25 for 128 megs of RAM, $35, 256 megs of RAM. So it's only a $10 increase, which I know percentage-wise is, you know, whatever. I'm not, you know, whatever.
It's crazy. Thing's awesome.
Yeah. I'm really, honestly, I try to tell my wife, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, look, just give me a little gift card, like an American Express gift card for Christmas. And they ask why. I can't tell you. You won't understand. I love you guys, but you won't understand. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So I'm super looking forward to this. And if I do anything of any interest, you know, I'm going to share it here.
Of course. Looking forward to it.
Cool. This next thing, honestly, I got to glance at, Steve. I did not get a chance to actually test, install, or run. But it looks like there used to be an application called Minitube, MINITUBE. On some distros of Linux, I could not get it to load. Okay, period. Couldn't get it to load. But when I could get it to load, okay, I could load that app up, search YouTube, because that's what the back end was, search YouTube and start playing a video a heck of a lot faster than launching a browser, going to YouTube and doing a search and playing a video, or even going to the search bar, typing YouTube space and the video in, and it still took a lot longer versus the Minitube. Well, it looks like the creators of Minitube created another application called MusicTube, MusicTube. And it's a desktop app that uses YouTube as its back-end library.
Wow.
Okay, now, between me and you, Steve, when I was doing PC repair, as busy as I could, and I had a customer that would not stop pirating music. They couldn't. You know, they could sooner stop breathing than pirating music. I then got to a point where I told them, look, I'm really getting sick and tired of cleaning infections off your computer. If you insist on having to get music for free, the safest way to do it is to go to YouTube and have a tool download from there. You're getting it from a trusted source. You know what I mean? You're not going on these, you know, trashy sites, downloading which you don't know what they are. You're on YouTube, a Google property. You're not going to download a virus from there. And then you could download from there and you could have your audio. This tool allows you to very easily search YouTube and do some sorting. You can even get entire albums.
And does it download them?
I believe you can, but I know it streams. It wouldn't shock me if it wants to have an internet access the whole time.
Yeah, I would think that that's the most legit way. Now, does this violate YouTube terms of service or anything like that?
Probably.
Okay.
Do I care? Not a lot. If it works, it works. You know what I mean? I honestly like the idea of I'm hosting a party at my house, launch the box, I put in, man, I was going to really date myself and say KC and the Sunshine Band, but I'm not even that old, you know, and I'll put in their, man, something.
Katy Perry.
Oh.
Now, how about
guys,
like,
I'll see you next week.
How about like Stone Temple Pilots? That puts in a good spot.
Sure. That's yes. As long as you didn't say U2, because they're Irish people want to punch. Yes. not Katy Perry, Stone Temple Pilots, and you put it in there and bang, you're playing music to the whole crowd of people. Nothing complicated to download, nothing complex to install, no iTunes update interrupting in the middle kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's just simple playing your audio or playing their audio.
It'll put it on a playlist too?
It does look like you can create playlist and have a possibility for albums.
Sweet.
Yeah. I like it a lot.
It looks very cool.
Yep. And free. Okay, next quick link I just got to mention, Josh gave me this link, and then I stopped and I said, why in the hell did you send me this? You know what I mean? And then before I could ask him that, I stopped. And I remember me and Josh were talking about the number of games available on every operating system is almost a mystery. People don't know. You know what I mean? People only know one little fraction of what's possible on no matter what you're on. If you're on Windows, Mac, or Linux.
Right.
He has younger children. They're not young, but they're younger. And I have now a 7-year-old. Okay. If I hand my son an Xbox 360 controller, that is a unconditional laid back experience. What I mean by that is he might as well be watching TV. Because all he's going to do is sit back, drool, ignore me calling his name, and play games. Okay? And all he's going to do is exercise his thumbs. Okay? Nothing really is going to come out of it except for the possibility of expanding 3D realization and modeling in his head kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. If you give your children open source games, there's a chance. There's just a little bit of a chance, but there's a chance. Your son or daughter can be playing something and saying, you know, Dad, I don't like how this is doing that. You say, what do you mean? Well, I don't like the fact that when I play this game, I have to go over here, jump over there, and then I got to wait for this guy to show up to give me this so I can go do that. And then you can say, it's open source. Change it. Lean forward a little bit. Look down. Hey, there's a keyboard. You can type on that thing. And you can change the game. Some of these open source games are written in very high level, hard languages. Okay.
Yeah.
Like C++, which if your kid has the determination to learn C++ to change a game, you need to start investing in that kid now. Because he's going to make you a lot of money when he's older. But what happened was Josh gave me a link to osswin.sourceforge.net/games. And it's a pretty good, pretty comprehensive listing of open source games for Windows.
For Windows.
For Windows. And it isn't gigantic. It isn't huge. You're not going to see Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, Skyrim, Apocalypse, something. You know, no, you're not going to see that. You're going to see basic, because see, for your kid to comprehend the level of complexity to edit Skyrim type games, you know,
It's
you
not
might
likely.
you might as well just ship them over to Stephen Hawking's and have them learn from him because he's too smart. These games are more basic, which means they're easier to comprehend the coding of them. So, you know, and there's even games in there like Tux Racer. If your kid wants, he can edit even the avatar of the character. So he can beat his brother Timmy in every race and laugh. I just beat Timmy again. You know, as simple as that kind of changes can be made.
Is Tux Racer easy to hack like that?
I'm sure it's just an avatar. It's just maybe you might need a little blender action going on.
Right.
Honestly, I don't know. But, you know, open source games, we went from the beginning, Steve, means there's a level you can get in, you can change, you can recompile, and then you can redistribute to your friends at school. So hypothetically, you know, Principal Skinner, which that's a really bad reference because that's Simpsons. Principal Johnson really makes you mad. You can go in to one of these open source games and take his image and his likeness and make him a head boss in the game.